Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. William Ruto's game plan for Mount Kenya is being shattered. And the person shattering William Ruto's game plan is not Rigathi Gachagua. That person is none other than Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro is going to destroy William Ruto in Mount Kenya completely. And you can clearly tell from the steps he is making. Yesterday, Ndindi Nyoro posted this. Let me read for you what Ndindi Nyoro posted. Today, this was yesterday. Today, we joined my brother and colleague, Honorable Senator Karungo Wathangwa, at his home to condole with him following the loss of the family matriarch, Mama Lucy Wangui Thangwa. Senator John Methu also joined the family. Our most sincere condolences to the entire family. Poleni sana. Wishing you peace that surpasses all understanding during this difficult time. And he closed it with his signature, "We are Africa. Africa is our business." And you can clearly tell from the photos which they shared, this event, as much as it was kind of a funeral, the event was political. Ndindi Nyoro went to meet with Rigathi Gachagua's allies at Senator Thangwa's residence. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting here is giving William Ruto and his allies serious political headache. And I want to explain to you guys why and how. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. And for this particular video, I want to request you guys to just click that thumbs up button. And for the League Gang, if you can, please drop your comments. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I believe this was a political event was the kind of photos these guys shared. And you can't convince me that these three gentlemen found themselves at the same place at the same time. In politics, nothing just happened the way this one did. So they wanted to achieve certain political objectives. Number one, we all know that Senator Methu and Senator Wathangwa are some of the key allies of Rigathi Gachagua. Ndindi Nyoro has been in the middle, sitting somewhere. And we also know that there's a movement in the name of Linda Wananchi. That movement, the link between Linda Wananchi, Rigathi Gachagua has been making some comments which is really hurting Edwin Sifuna and the group. These guys are likely to work together. So it's the link, Ndindi. So probably Sifuna, Orengo, Babu sent Ndindi to go to speak to Gachagua. But that cannot happen directly. It means they had to create a venue which nobody can suspect. And that venue is Thangwa's home. Because, you know, he lost the mother. So they can meet there and say they went to condole with him. Because in an ideal situation, I don't know whether it's different with the Kikuyu culture, but in an ordinary circumstance, they would have gone to the mother's place. But they chose Wathangwa's residence. So this was just a meeting venue. Nobody would suspect these guys talking politics here. So the truth is, this meeting was about how these camps will work together. And Ndindi Nyoro is the link. I want you guys to mark this. And in future, not a very long time from now, it will start coming out. That's number one. Number two, William Ruto's camp are also worried about this camp because it has the potential of uniting the entire Mount Kenya. The truth is, this camp is trying to consolidate the mountain. And they are trying to consolidate the mountain into one camp. And it's going to be very easy for them. And they're going to easily advance the narrative that they really worked for Ruto. But it is Ruto who betrayed them. And because they were betrayed, they'll need their own vehicle, which they can use for the purposes of 2027. And I'm seeing Ndindi Nyoro probably either joining Rigathi Gachagua's party, DCP party, as a result of this part of consolidation. Because remember, Ndindi Nyoro used to be one of the closest allies of President William Ruto. What do you think happened between them?
Na sisi watu wa Mount Kenya tumejipanga. We do not need any broker, and we do not need anyone to go negotiate anything for us. We have already negotiated with our presidential candidate called William Samoei Ruto. And we are not negotiating on who will become prime minister, on who will become deputy president. We are negotiating on how to revive our economy. We are negotiating on how our coffee farmers will get better prices. We are negotiating on how our milk farmers will stop getting 30 shillings when the producers are getting 120 per liter. We want our farmers to get better value for their milk. That is the kind of negotiation we are doing as leaders of Mount Kenya region. Tulimuona mukienda Gatanga, mukaenda na yule mtu wa rege, mukasema ni yeye. Jana tumewaona, mukisema hamukusema. Mukue watu wa kuongea ukweli. Na hapa, mimi nikiangalia hapa Mount Kenya region, hao viongozi wote, hiyo pesa mnakula maandazi kwa mahoteli. Mukisema mnaunganisha Mount Kenya region, wachaneni na mandazi. Kujeni tufanye kazi ya wananchi, kwa sababu 2022 tumejipanga na Hasra Nation William Samoei Ruto. Asanteni.
Number 3, there is the possibility that this camp might settle on a Mount Kenya presidential candidate. Mount Kenya, just like the Luo Nation today in Kenya, they have nothing to lose. The Luo Nation will not produce a presidential candidate. The Kikuyu Nation probably might not produce a presidential candidate. But for them, they have the numbers, which means they can decide, let us run for the presidency. Not necessarily to win, but to consolidate our support base. So because Rigathi Gachagua is facing that challenge, because he was impeached, he can't run, Ndindi Nyoro has created an image of himself. He can declare his bid. And all these guys might actually decide to rally behind him. How is that a problem to Ruto? I know that's the question you want to ask. Let me explain. As long as Mount Kenya is not on the ballot, William Ruto still has a chance, a fighting chance in the mountain. The reason Rigathi Gachagua is not really being perceived as a potential presidential candidate is because of the case he's facing. If Rigathi Gachagua was cleared to run, the mountain would have easily rallied around him. But you see, the mountain are saying to Gashagua that we will give you the MPs. We'll give you the senators, the MCS, the governors, and the women rep. But for the presidency, they are confused. They don't know whether to vote for Ruto. They don't know whether to vote for Matiang'i. They don't know whether to vote for Kalonzo Musyoka. In fact, currently, Edwin Sifuna is also emerging as a serious favorite of the mountain. So which means they were confused, and therefore Ruto had a chance of competing with the rest for Mount Kenya. But if Mount Kenya were to produce a single presidential candidate, they'll rally around that candidate and make that candidate another Raila. Because they believe that Raila Odinga used to just be there, campaign, is defeated or rigged out, but he will still be in government. So that is the headache Ruto is having. That if these guys were to produce a presidential candidate, then he will not have a fighting chance. Someone like Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is working very hard, by the way, to try and regain control of the mountain, especially Mount Kenya East. He will not have that chance. And number 4, And this is something which I keep on saying on this platform. Politics is a perceptional game. The fact that Ndindi Nyoro, who used to be a close ally of President Ruto, is now willing to start being associated with the opposition is dangerous for Ruto. It creates the perception that Ruto is a betrayer. It creates a perception that William Ruto is being left by his former allies. And because of that, Ruto is definitely going to be affected. And importantly, it is going to have a spiral effect. You see, Rigathi Gachagua managed to win the support of the people on the ground in Mount Kenya. But he failed to win the support of the leaders. That's why sometimes on this platform, and sometimes I'm very unpopular for saying the truth, that's why sometimes on this platform, when I say that Mount Kenya MPs voted to impeach Rigathi, some people are not happy. They want me to say that it is ODM MPs who impeached Rigathi Gachagua. That's not the case. Rigathi Gachagua was impeached because he failed to garner the support of elected leaders in Parliament and at the Senate from Mount Kenya. So right now, Rigathi has the people, but he doesn't have the leaders. The moment Ndindi Nyoro will join Rigathi Gachagua officially, some of the leaders who were still in the fence or who still feared would start moving towards that direction. Because for Ndindi Nyoro, the advantage he has is that most people view him, especially from the mountain, view him as the future of Mount Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this question and I expect you to answer it. Do you think Ndindi Nyoro will team up with Rigathi Gachagua ahead of 2027? And will they be able to lock William Ruto out of Mount Kenya? Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.